It's Monday. It's morning.
It's macabre. Welcome to Monday Morning Macabre with Scones and Darcy, the podcast.
Quarantine day 5, whatever.
Day 8 of quarantine. We've been just sitting in a cave in the Sling and Dinger studio. They slide food under a tray on a tray under a slat in the door,
And a small piece of paper that says "Get back to work."
Yeah, they say "more tent" in all caps.
Very cryptic writing.
Yeah, and it's like they've got like these like it looks like an octopus tentacle. It's like, I don't know, some weird's going on back
The
there.
whole Zodiac code is on there.
Yeah, so we're doing okay so far. I hope every one of our listeners is doing well out there. We're on episode 25. That's that's a
thing. Lot. Holy crap.
Yeah, 20. That's episode 25 that's a goal. That's a landmark
We
checkpoint.
might be able to retire soon.
Yeah, I think by episode 30 we'll be flying jets and like talking to each other with those giant headsets that they wear. Be like, bro, and then the ghost said,
Taking 80 G's. I don't know how flying works.
80 G. No, that sounds right. We'll be going like 60 knots per second, taking an 80 G's.
Making 80 G's per episode.
This is the podcast where we...
What are we even talking about here?
Just nonsense. This is the spooky, creepy, urban legendy, real crime thing. Anything that's dark and ominous and weird and creepy.
We're on it.
We're on it.
We know about it, or will know about it by the end of this series.
Yeah, and today is no different. Today I will be bringing Scones a story, and actually... it's a listener request.
Oh my God. Interactions between you, the listener, and us.
Your new gods. It's bad that we both said that. So I want to make a quick shout out to our listener, Trevor's Silver Lining, for sending us this article because it's actually an insane story and I'm very excited to tell Scones all about it.
Give me the silver linings, Trevor.
Again, thank you, Trevor. And if anyone else has suggestions, please send them in. If we can, if we think we can make an episode out of it, we will totally do so. And here is a great example.
And here it happens. And now.
And right now. Now, I'm reading you an article from...
Read me that, Artie. Oh, full disclosure. Last week, I did not cite my articles. They're on the website.
Yeah. I think there's been a couple where I always forget to mention it, but I will put the link to the article in the notes section of each episode.
Yeah, and we never the research is usually, we're standing on the shoulders of giants.
We don't know how to read.
Yeah, we don't take credit for
a
lot of this, and we'll try to cite you as best we can, but we're also can be big time dummies and just forget.
And
we'll always put it on the website in the episode page.
We are BTDs for sure. So Scones,
big tatted daddies.
Fuck it, I wish, dude. Soon enough. Today we're talking about the disappearance of Girly Chew Hossencofft.
Girly Chew Hossencofft? That's like 3 different nationalities name-wise.
Yeah, it's like Big League Chew horse carriage or whatever. Today on Monday Morning Macabre.
This morning. It's Monday morning.
This morning on Monday Morning Macabre. Play us out, band.
Band?
Band.
That's my favorite recurring joke.
Yeah, they're on the cell across from us.
Wait, play us in. Don't play us out.
True.
We keep telling them to play us out. Play us in, band.
Play us in and go. Okay, so I'm getting this from oxygen.com. They have this I learned about this from researching this, but this event, they have this thing called Murders A to Z, and it's just like a section of their website full of just
alphabetical murders.
No, lesser known murders and things you have not heard of, because
I pictured an alphabetical book. Like a kid's book?
Yeah. It's like A is for Alex.
From A to Zodiac. My first murders.
Yeah. So I'm reading from an article here. This is the title of the article to give you a sense of the wackiness that is the terrible fate this girl endured. But
oh my God.
Yeah. The disappearance of Girly Chew Hossencofft. A con man, a fashion designer, UFOs, and a ninja sword.
You had me at fashion designers.
So this is one of those things where it's like, how have I not heard of this before? Because it's insane.
It sounds incredible.
So here we go. The disappearance of Girly Chew Hossencofft is a tale that includes conmen, fashion designers, UFOs, spousal abuse, and conspiracy theories about otherworldly aliens that secretly rule the Earth. Adding to the mystery, standard.
I'm in.
Standard true crime
My
stuff.
new religion.
Adding to the mystery of her presumed murder is the fact that her body was never found. Fortunately, a jury didn't need a body to send her killers. Okay. I'm going to ask you how you pronounce this because I'm having such a hard time trying to figure out how I want to pronounce it. It's Diazien. Diazien?
Diazien? Like Damien, but without an M? Diazien?
Well, but it's D-I-A. It's like...
Oh.
Diazien? I'm going to say Diazien?
Diazien?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to say Diazien.
Oh, let's dwell on it more. Diazien?
So, Diazien Hossencofft and Linda Henning are the two individuals who went to prison for the events that take place forthcoming.
Wait, so is he related to her?
We'll get into
Hossencofft?
We'll get into it. So we're going to start with Linda Henning, who is the second person I mentioned there. She was born on October 10th, 1953, and grew up in Hollywood, California. When she was 11 years old, her father left her mother, a wound many feel she tried to salve with a succession of boyfriends on whom she pinned unrealistic expectations and deep emotional needs.
Oh, been there, sister.
Yeah. Author Mark Horner wrote in 2014 a book he wrote called September Sacrifice about Girly Chew's disappearance. He says, "This is a person who, according to her own mother, would believe the moon was made out of cheese if a boy had said it." So she's a real...
Dude, there's no cats in America. And the streets are paved with cheese. It's not the moon.
So she's very she's very boy crazy, and many believe that is due to the fact that her father left when she was young. So after high school, Henning supported herself as a model and eventually began designing women's apparel. Her clothing line did well, and in the late 80s, she moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Hey, look at her, self-starter.
She's got her own fashion line. By 1999, Henning's business was flourishing. She owned a beautiful home and was engaged to be married.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, so everything's going great for Henning, right?
I bet it doesn't end that way based on the facts that we already stated.
Nope. In her free time, she pursued such regional interests as Southwestern art and UFOs.
Oh man, probably so much turquoise.
Yeah, the classic combination of artwork and talking about reptilian overlords.
Is she a Scientologist?
No.
Okay.
We'll get
She's not in that.
She's not a Scientologist.
Not El Ron and.
She's not
Biembe.
El Ron Hoyabimbe. So a friend, Peter Ekberg, told Snapped, which is one of Oxygen's
reporters.
Related things.
Journalists.
This area is known for UFO activity. You've got Roswell, New Mexico, and Area 51, not too far away. So she got really into the whole UFO part of...
She was just taking in the local culture of turquoise and aliens.
Yeah, exactly. In the summer of 1999, Henning met Diazien. It's such a weird... Diazien Hossencofft.
Well, you need to pick one.
I'm going to say Diazien.
Diazien?
Just 30 more minutes. Henning met Diazien Hossencofft at a seminar led by conspiracy theorist David Icke. Among Icke's belief is that the world is controlled and manipulated by an unseen global network who he has previously identified as interdimensional, pedophilic, shape-shifting reptilians that include most of the world's ruling elite, from George Soros to the British royal family.
Who do you think hurt David Icke, and what did they do to him?
Yeah, they were like, David, the moon's made out of cheese. And he's like, no, the reptiles made the moon made out of cheese. And it's not actually cheese. It's part of global conspiracy. Dude is...
You have to go from somewhere to get to there.
Yeah, yeah. And
you have to... I wish I could meet someone who was very seriously like this.
It's just to pick their brain for any amount of time.
Yeah, just be just give me your life story.
Yeah, what happened. I can probably pinpoint something that...
Actually, I could probably find a manifesto from someone like this.
That's a good point. There's no way they have not
written this and sent it to every...
Definitely.
Mental hospital in the world.
So Hossencofft told Henning that he was a doctor and former member of the CIA. He made his money treating rich women by giving them vitamin injections that he said would stop the aging process and in some cases even cure cancer. So this guy's a real...
Did it work?
Unfortunately, no. It turns out he was lying. Who would have thought?
What?
According to court documents, he also claimed to be an alien and to be immortal.
He buried the lead.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a CIA agent and I got this really cool vitamin supplement. Also, can't die.
And I'm not from this planet.
Yeah, and I'm from a different world. So you want to go on a date or whatever? And his friends are in the corner.
So you want to be young and not?
Like throwing up.
He's the How to Train Your Dragon. Like
the 2 thumbs up. In reality, he was a 34-year-old con man from Houston. His name was Armand Chavez. Author Mark Horner told Snap that Hossencofft was absolutely 100% a fraud.
Wait, so Hossencofft his real name is?
His real name is Armand Chavez.
Oh.
But he goes by, and you got to understand, he picked the name Diazien
Hossencofft?
Yeah, Hossencofft, as he's like, what? That's like so ridiculous that I'm like doubly suspicious now. Where if you were just like, I'm Brian Smith, I'm like, okay, that's fair. But you're like, I'm Diazien Hossencofft.
My name's Reginald Barukashi.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to pick a name that's going to open up a
I am a CIA alien.
CIA alien.
Take these pills.
Yeah. Why would you pick a name that opens up so many more questions about your existence?
You're back. I guess he's trying to act mysterious and like exotic.
That's true. Yeah, I think he's more in it to like pick up chicks than to actually. Anyway,
I thought he was, but he's making a killing off selling these.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
rich women are just like, yes.
He's injecting them with like vitamin C. Like it's a fucked up like.
Yeah, you're immortal.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Give me some of those.
Yo, stick that in my arm right now.
I mean, he's immortal.
So, 2 weeks after the meeting, Henning dumped her fiance and began a romantic relationship with Hossencofft, telling friends that they were going to be married.
Gonna be married.
Married alert.
Guys.
Unfortunately, Hossencofft was already married at the time to 36-year-old Girly Chew Hossencofft.
He got married?
So Girly Chew was Diazien's wife. Okay.
Wow. So he picked up a wife along the way of scheming and
being
this dude's,
an insane person? He's a classic con man move. He's had like 3 wives at one time or something like that. So now let's focus on the absolute bummer of this story, which is Girly Chew. Girly grew up in Malaysia and met Diazien while on vacation in the United States. They were married in 1992 and moved to Albuquerque, where she worked as a teller with the Bank of America. According to Girly's coworkers, she had been a victim of domestic abuse. In fact, Horner told Snapped that there were at least 2 reported episodes of domestic violence to the Albuquerque Police Department involving Girly Chew Hossencofft and Diazien Hossencofft. After years of spousal abuse and finding out that Diazien was a fraud, Girly moved out of their house and filed for divorce in February 1999.
It took her years to find out he was a fraud.
I guess. I mean, apparently this guy's not half bad if he's managing to get all this money.
This guy must be the like Loki slickest dude.
Oh, for sure.
If he's convincing everyone. Like the reason she broke up with him was like he's a fraud. It's not like because of anything else.
It's nothing else. It's not like he was a bad guy.
He was appeasing her. It's because like, wait a minute, you're not
immortal? She saw him bleed and immediately filed for divorce.
He must have been so slick.
The best part about this is the guy kind of in a very, very small way looks similar to oh my god, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The Room.
Tommy Wiseau?
He looks like Tommy Wiseau. Like,
that's
just
incredible.
Enough where I'm like, you could be Tommy Wiseau.
That's incredible.
Anyway, after filing for divorce, Diazien repeatedly threatened Girly. She told her friends and employers she was in fear for her safety, and according to Court TV, she contacted the FBI and told them to investigate her husband should anything happen to her. She was also planning on exposing his various crimes. So I guess she knew that he was up to some
getting plans in place, affairs in order.
Yeah, she's like, he might go all Diazien on me and do some bad stuff.
I wonder what that letter was like. The guy at the FBI who got that. She's writing it. She's like, to warn you, he is immortal, not of this world. Also has CIA credentials.
Attached to this note is a silver bullet, garlic, wooden stake.
Made of meteorite. It is the only thing that can kill him and send him to his dimension.
Honestly, this case probably has the craziest names of any like murder investigation of all time. I can't imagine there's more than like Girly Chew, Diazien. You've got like it all. It's all there.
Yeah, and from all over the world, these names.
So, meanwhile, Linda Henning's friends were concerned about her behavior after falling under Diazien's spell. So remember, we got Linda, who's like the new girl that he met at the Reptilian conference. And she's like, ooh, I'm going to drop my boyfriend and get married to this guy because he's a mysterious, immortal CIA guy.
Okay. So we got to review, we have the lady who eventually will go missing.
Girly Chew, who's the current wife of Diazien.
Right. And then her husband's having an affair. Her abusive husband's having an affair with a lady.
And Linda.
They will end up being the suspects.
Correct. So Linda, the affair woman, her friends were concerned about her behavior after falling under Diazien's spell. Her ex-fiancé told mutual friend Stephen Zachary that she stopped changing her clothes and bathing, and that he thought she had some chemical imbalance. Henning pushed her friends to use Hossencofft's miracle treatments and told them he was a 1,000-year-old alien who promised great power.
So slick.
So this guy is doing a real good job of persuading this woman in the craziest way.
Dude, who wouldn't leave their fiance for a 1,000-year-old?
Well, I'm impressed at
reptile.
Diazien's ability to find just insane people who believe this, because she stopped bathing and changing her clothes. So she's like definitely has something.
You got it.
And all of this other stuff that he's convinced her of. Like she's definitely not 100% good up in the noggin department.
No, she's got a little grogget in the noggin.
So Linda goes on to say the reptile aliens were going to be coming to the Earth, and particular individuals would be their local emissaries. She was going to be the reptile queen, a private investigator said. So, yeah, she's
not going to miss out on that chance.
So then on September 9th, 1999, Girly Chew Hossencofft left work and was never seen again. Her supervisor reported her missing to the police the next day when she failed to come to work. Detectives went to her apartment where they found bleach stains on the carpet and wet spots where it had been cleaned, but they hadn't cleaned it enough. They found 7 spots of blood, private investigator David Pfeiffer told Snapped. That same day, on a stretch of highway 120 miles south of Albuquerque, a workman found a tarp, a woman's blouse, shorts, underwear, and a piece of duct tape and gauze, all smeared with blood containing strands of hair. So bad news for
definitely...
definitely like very
foul
incriminating if you find bleach and blood and then your wife's clothes like dumped on the side of the driveway.
I'd say so.
So police go to question Diazien Hossencofft, but they find his front door open and his house empty of people and belongings. Again, very incriminating evidence here.
I was going to say, skipping town.
Yeah. On the afternoon of September 12th, 1999, authorities questioned Linda Henning, who claimed she didn't know Hossencofft's whereabouts and that she didn't expect to see him again. When asked about his wife, Girly, Henning said they had never met. So she's like, I don't know who that Girly Chew is. You're making up a person. And I would be like, that's probably yeah, I believe that.
She could just be like, I'm sorry, a lizard? she could have played this off so well.
She's like, listen, I'm going to be the Reptilian Queen. That makes total sense. But that name you just hit me with is
Girly Chew?
not adding up. So detectives eventually tracked Diazien to Charleston, South Carolina, where he was staying with a woman named Cheryl Culp. Like
another
Henning,
woman?
Yeah. Like Henning, she believed that she and Hossencofft were to be married and denied any knowledge of his wife's whereabouts, and he was extradited back to New Mexico.
So she was promised to be a lizard
he found
queen?
another woman, convinced her to marry him.
Does he have some kind of like primitive,
That's
like crazy Tinder? Like swipe right to be my reptilian queen?
Dude, we need to make the Reptilian Queen Tinder. So, yeah, he's for an insane con man psychopath guy. He's
good at it.
It's very much like Manson-y, where it's like you're somehow convincing all these people to follow your insane lead. So they test the evidence they find at Girly's apartment and along the highway, and they find that Girly's blood and hair was all over them, which was expected. But there was another person's DNA on the items, and it wasn't Diazien Hossencofft's. It was Linda Henning's.
Holy guacamole.
There were long strands of hair that were found in the tarp that were Linda's. Girly's blood, of course, was found in the apartment, but Linda's blood was found there too. So they have now been able to tie Linda directly to not only knowing Girly, but probably helping
also
in murdering. Yeah. So police executed a search warrant on Henning's home and found a Japanese ninja sword hidden in the ceiling of the garage. So again, this is sad and dark, but also just like the most cartoony true crime.
Most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
Receipts showed that Diazien Hossencofft had purchased it on the day of Girly's disappearance.
She went out and got it.
Which means
it's not like it was convenient.
Sat there and was like, what's the best way to murder my wife without anyone knowing? I know. I'm going to go get a fucking katana. It's nuts. They also find a shotgun and a .22 Beretta handgun. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, they just not use those.
Apparently not. Detectives, although the bodies have never been found, so we can't really say for sure.
Oh, true.
Detectives discovered Linda had been lying when she claimed to have never met Girly. Bank of America records show that Linda had banked there on at least one occasion, and the missing woman had been her teller. So they can, not only can they link her via the evidence that they find on like the crime scene, but they also have found where at one point Girly was working Bank of America and Linda was meeting her there as the teller. So like they know that they have met each other.
Yeah.
So they know that she's lying.
Dude, how has this not been made into a movie?
That's what I'm saying. It's like nuts. Or
an HBO special or something.
So on October 29th, police arrest Linda Henning for perjury, and 3 weeks later on November 17th, she and Diazien Hossencofft were indicted for first-degree murder. In January 14th, 2002, Diazien Hossencofft surprised prosecutors by pleading guilty to planning the murder of Girly Chew Hossencofft. He was sentenced to life in prison plus 60 years.
Did they know he's immortal, though?
He's like, yeah, it's nothing to me.
60 is short. Dropping the fucking bucket.
That's like a week in my time. As part of his plea deal, he was allowed to serve a sentence out of the state of Wyoming. Hossencofft, however, denied taking part in the actual murder and said he did not know where to find his wife's remains. So he said that he helped plan it, but he was not a part of it.
Come on, Diazien. Come on.
According to Court TV on CNN, a prosecutor alleged that Linda had eaten Girly's flesh.
Yikes.
Yeah. During the course of the case's investigation, it was reported by more than one individual that the defendant had made statements that she had actually consumed the flesh of Girly Chew Hossencofft and that as a consequence, her remains and body would never be recovered by authorities. Now, there's a lot.
I mean, the reptile part makes that kind of make sense that she thinks she's a reptile.
So I did more research into that because I was like, that's bananas. And a lot of people are like, she's just talking out of her rear end on that one. Like, she's just being there's no way that she would be able to consume an entire person's body and other stories. So the murder trial begins on October 1st, 2002. And it was a truly historic case. Linda was the first woman in New Mexico history since statehood that would have faced the death penalty.
Ooh, making history.
While the prosecution's case relied on forensic evidence, Henning's defense relied on a sole witness, Diazien Hossencofft. Though he denied Henning's involvement in the murder and claimed that he planted her blood at the crime scene, the testimony of a known con artist and convicted killer had little sway over the jury. Who would have thought? Stephen Zachary told Snapped, a first-day law student, not a first-year, a first-day law student, would never use a liar as the crux of their defense. So I'm like, okay, that's I agree with that. On October 25th...
The fucking 21st century, dude.
Yeah, this is nuts. This did not happen like 100 years ago, 200 years ago. This was like, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Insane. I was alive for this.
Yeah, exactly. On October 25th, 2002, a jury found Linda Henning guilty of first-degree felony murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, perjury, criminal solicitation, and tampering with evidence. She escaped the death penalty and instead was sentenced to 73.5 years in prison. In 2010, the New Mexico Supreme Court overturned her perjury convictions but upheld her convictions and sentence. The body of Girly Chew Hossencofft remains missing to this day.
Man, imagine getting that close to being the reptile queen just to get thrown away for 70 years. That's tough.
That is tough. So that's the story of Girly Chew. It's
poor Girly Chew.
Actually bananas. Like, it's the most insane thing I've ever read in my life. That all of this was real and took place. This was not a fever dream I had and wrote down. There are legal documents that support what happened here.
There's a courtroom. I want to read the courtroom.
Yeah, like the transcripts.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a picture of Diazien for you.
Ooh, I got him. Hold on.
Yeah, there's like one where he's in prison and like I'm like, you could maybe you have the same hair as like
he looks real deserty.
Yeah, it's not great.
Girly Chew Hossencofft.
Yeah. It's a really sad story for her. She just got so the only reason she's not alive today is because she went on vacation and just happened to run into this absolute wackadoo of a human being. Like, she would be fine. Like,
it was like abusive and like
every negative thing you can think.
His mistress killed her with a samurai sword.
Like, I'm laughing because of the absurdity, not of the tragedy.
That's your life.
That's insanity.
That's why people need to, I don't know. Choose who you're with better, man.
Yeah, choose who you're with.
Ooh.
And that's the story.
Yeah.
Of Girly Chew Hossencofft.
Don't fall for the old I'm an immortal.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the oldest one in the book.
king.
Honestly, we hear that all the time. I'm a CIA agent with special vitamins that'll cure your cancer / immortal / alien. It's the classic fairy tale story. All girls are taught growing up, which then gives them.
We need to get rid of this stigma of girls being saved by lizard kings and turned into lizard queens.
So I just want to thank you to Trevor Silver Lining for sending us that, because it was
that's nuggin futz, dude. Like that's
I had a lot of fun researching this because I was like, this is literally, if this was fan fiction, I'd be like, that's honestly like that makes so much more sense. But it's real life, and this kind of stuff
like an
happens.
episode of South Park, like making fun of like
Exactly.
cults. Like this isn't real.
Listeners, please be safe out there. If it's not the coronavirus, it's Diazien Hossencofft. So thank you again, Trevor Silver Lining. Shout out to you. If you guys have other stories or things you want us to talk about, please hit us in the DMs. Send it to our contact page on our website, www.mondaymorningmacabre.com. Rate, review. We appreciate that a lot. We have a good time, and we like hearing that you guys are having a good time as well. You can find us on Twitter at mmmacabrepod. You can also find us on Instagram at Monday Morning Macabre. And please send in your suggestions, and please keep listening.
Yeah, because that's...
I would never have found the story if it wasn't.
There's so much macabre stuff out there with crazy people, and this was a special flavor of macabre.
This was like a wacky macabre. We've got some real
definitely
dark, like axe murder.
Horrible for poor Girly Chew. That sucks.
Yeah.
But man, talk about some like sentences you've never heard before.
You're gonna go to work and be like, "Hey, Janine in accounting, listen to this crazy shit." Like,
it makes me think twice about like people who I meet or see on TV or something. I'm like, this person could be behind closed doors. Like,
an animal.
Absolutely,
like an animal.
Absolutely. Like, if anyone looks in their ceiling panels, like there could just be samurai swords that they use.
Swords. So,
Jesus,
hide your samurai swords and have a good Monday.
Yeah, there's no such thing as Reptilian Queens. And enjoy the rest of your quarantine, wherever you are in the world. Yes. If you are quarantined. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. And
stay macabre.
Boo. Okay.
It was there.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Boy. Boy.